What's good, YouTube family? I am so excited because we have not done this in a minute, but I'm ready to start doing it very, very consistently. We are about to do tarot readings for all 12 zodiac signs. A general reading for each sign in reference to Leo season. So Leo season is about to end, but we're still in it. So we're about to do a reading right now just to see what everybody went through and is going through in Leo season for the different zodiac signs. Now, whether you're watching this for somebody else to see what's going on in their life or for your own life, either way, all you got to do is scroll to the part of this video where that respective zodiac signs reading is at. You feel me? Straight like that. And hey, listen, I know this intro ain't too smooth, but it's going to get better. I just like to be in the zone. So, first, we are going to read for Aries. The sign of Aries in the season of Leo. What's up with the Aries right now? Tell me about the Aries. So already Aries, I get the feeling that a lot of you guys have taken on a huge workload. I don't feel that you're unfamiliar with hard work. You know how to work hard, you're used to doing it, and even though sometimes it's annoying, you know that to get to where you want, you're gonna have to put in this work right now. That's not the challenge. The challenge is that part of you wonders if the work you're doing now will have long-term validity. Some of you are feeling like you're putting in a whole lot of work towards somebody else's dream. Snap. That's just the vibe. That's just the vibe I'm getting off the rip. Also, too, there may be some Aries that are using work to escape from something, some kind of truth that they're running from or something like that. And so they're going to work all the time in order to not have to be stuck with themselves, sitting in the dark with their thoughts and realize, dang, there's this feeling, there's this thing going on inside of me that I haven't told nobody, don't want to tell nobody, don't know if I'm gonna ever tell nobody as long as I can keep working instead of telling somebody. But I feel like that's changing. I feel like a deep period of first of all, I feel like for some of the Aries, the work just became too much, for real. Some of you straight up fell out and was like, nah, I'm done, bro. I'm done. I don't mind going hard, but it has to be for something that's worth it. That doesn't just feel like it's just amounting to a paycheck, because eventually that money will be spent. And then what will I have? What kind of legacy am I leaving? I feel is what a lot of the Aries are thinking. So some of y'all might have straight up left a job. Some of y'all might have left a job after it got so unbearable that you like passed out or gave up or quit in the middle or something like that. But for most of the Aries, I feel that this is an energy of working very, very hard, but in deep thought about if this work is really for you. You feel me? If it's making your future self satisfied. It's something like that, bro. Let's pull a couple more cards for Aries. Tell me about Aries for Leo season. It's time to tell the truth. We are moving into an era, especially, it's like there's a portal opening up. We'll talk about that portal another time, but there is a portal. There's a very specific portal opening, and the essence of this portal is about us embracing our real characters, our authenticity, our dreams, learning to play again, for real, re-embracing what used to light us up effortlessly when we were kids, and realizing that those are often too the best ways to make money. We're moving more and more into that every day. Our spirituality is kind of pushing us out of what has been familiar but also non-progressive, and moving us toward what might be a little more uncomfortable but much more us, much more you. You feel me? I'm trying not to be too abstract, but with the Aries, I know that y'all get it. That abstraction, sometimes that's the language in which y'all speak, and I love it. That natural poetry that you express when you're not even trying. Tell me about the Aries for Leo season. Let's wrap it up. Life is a mystery. If the only reason you haven't left a job that you know you don't like or that you hate, or if the only reason that you still haven't told this truth about yourself is because you're worried, the point that what the Bobcats come out to say is, Worried, that's always going to happen. You will not get confirmation about your work until you put the work in. If you're waiting to feel safe to be successful, damn, you might be waiting for a very long time. But if you start taking the action that is scary, but that you could literally choose to take right now and that you know would light your soul up in the best way, it will pay off, bro. Sis, friend, very, very quickly. The Bobcat wants you to embrace the mystery. Not knowing what the outcome is going to be is not enough reason to not go for what you want. You feel me? Your soul will be satisfied knowing that you went for it. You feel me? Straight like that. That's the Aries. That's the Aries reading. Let's get it popping, Aries. Keep it real. You know. Let's get it. All right. Now we're going to move on to Taurus. Them cards flipped right out, huh? And King of Pentacles comes out first, which represents Taurus energy beautifully. Oh, Taurus. Oh my God. Hold up. What a beautiful vibration from... Ooh. All right, hold up. We'll get to that in a minute. Taurus. Before we get into whoever this partner is that's coming or has recently showed up, let's just get into your aura, Taurus. Let me turn this down a little bit. I want to make sure y'all can see the cards. Oh, not that much. Damn. Okay, there we go. Taurus. King of Pentacles coming out. There was a time where the Taurus's energy was like filled with like substance abuse, addiction, don't know what I want to do with myself. I know I got skills, but I don't know where to apply them. What if the world never cares about them? There was a whole lot of self-pity and pain and emotional imbalance with the Tauruses, specifically for a long time that led a lot of them to drink and smoke a lot to deal with their pain, which is intense for a Taurus because they also have a high tolerance for that stuff, being fixed earth. It could be a bad loop to find yourself in. That being said, something has changed. I do think for most Tauruses is some new sense of spirituality or a more clear understanding of how the world actually works and realizing that there are expectations that you had been trying to hold yourself to that you never really had to, and you've only been doing it out of fear, straight like that, or familiarity, out of habit. I feel that either because of, for most Tauruses, it's a new sense of spirituality that has you feeling like now you are in charge of your own gold. You're not just offering irreplaceable support to everyone else's goals. You're not just a financial you're not just what is the word I'm looking for? It's like maybe people have often treated you as like a pool of money that when they are in need, they can always come to because you'll always have it, which maybe that is true, but that's draining, especially when you don't trust the people that are always asking for it. But I feel like now you have a stronger sense of the word no, to be like, no, I cannot do that for you right now. I don't even really know you like that. And for all I know, this is all you see me as is a pool of money. Now I feel like I gotta slow down because I be in the zone when I do readings. Now I feel that you feel that your gold is now in your control, that you are still generating as much as you ever have, but now that you are reaping more direct benefits from that work, whereas before it felt like it was all for everybody else to feel comfortable or something like that. You feel me, Taurus? So you're shining now. For some of y'all, it's a new sense of spirituality or a straight up new awareness, like more clear vision of the world. But for some of y'all, it is a straight up twin flame, bro, or soulmate energy. Somebody is inspiring a new spirituality in you and makes you realize you don't have to take things so serious, at least not to the point where it hurts. It don't have to be like that. You can go hard and be serious about your work without it making you miserable. And I think having somebody to share it with has helped a lot. Even if you are very, very single, it just feels to me like you're in the best position to meet a partner. Not that you have to be perfect to fall in love. We all show up how we show up, and there's always going to be something we can work on, especially with our partners. That being said, I feel that you feel more ready than ever for partnership, like you've never felt so in love with yourself. And it is that same love that you are ready to extend to somebody else. A genuine sort of love of I see you. I don't want you to go through bullshit any more than I want to go through bullshit. That is empathy. That is where real love comes from. Love is in love till you've given it away. Yeah, Taurus. Okay. That's the reading for Taurus, real direct. Okay, Taurus. Let's move on to the Geminis. What's up with the Geminis? Tell me about the Geminis. Hey, Geminis. I love y'all. Whether you are whether you are here listening for a Gemini or if you are the Gemini in the reading, either way, I am glad that you are here. Straight like that. Gemini, something is very peculiar with you right now. Like people on the outside of your life probably think that this is the best your life has ever been. You're in love, or you're in a relationship, maybe ready to get married, maybe even having kids at this point. You're doing well at work, and you always have something in the bank. It's there's this energy that people on the outside looking in probably think that you are very, very well off, that this is the best you ever had, and that they wish they were more like you, or that their life, that they look forward to when their life is as peaceful as yours seems. Little do they know that it seems like you're in love with somebody who is, there's something about them that feels almost secretive. Like, yeah, y'all are really in love, and yeah, you know this person has your back financially, and that maybe too, they're the kind of person who is very committed. They, like, you know that they're never gonna leave you, but there also is this void that feels like they're not even always there. You don't know if you can always trust them because you don't know if they actually care. It's like there's a distance between you and them that maybe at first was kind of sexy. Maybe it felt mysterious and it made you curious to want to know. But now after really getting to know them, you realize that there's something in there that is not being shown, or that there's something that needs to come to the surface that this person seems to have no interest in bringing up. So you might have to be the one to ask about it. Like, what is this distance? And a part of you, Gemini, may be afraid to ask it. If this is the most financially and romantically stable that you have been in a long time in terms of on paper, you may be worried that to express to this person your concerns would push them away. But if that is the truth, that's probably the problem that you're sensing. That if you, hey, listen, once you got to walk on eggshells, something is already, you feel me? You get what I'm saying? Once you feel like you can't voice your concerns in a relationship, something is already messed up. Something needs work. It's never comfy to hear what your partner is dissatisfied with about you, but somebody that really loves you would rather hear it. So y'all can work on it and at least talk about it, you know? But if you're worried that even to bring up anything that strays from this person's way of doing things would result in them pulling away or shutting you out or cutting you off, then this conversation is inevitable. It's almost like this person is over here waiting for you to mention what they know they're never going to mention unless somebody asks first. That is very intense and narcissistic. And it might be even more intense if this person is very spiritual or religious. For them to also be so narcissistic may be a surprise. And it may not be what you expected when you first started getting to know them, but this is the process. The truth is coming out now. It's time to keep it real. But I don't want you to wait for this person to keep it real with you, Gemini. If you have concerns to voice, take a leap of faith and trust that your relationship is strong enough to handle it. But that it's much better than silence and worries and wondering if you feel me, straight like that. Just ask. That's the reading for Leo season for Geminis right there. Oh, I forgot how much I love this. Sometimes I would get anxious about doing readings because it can be intense to be like remote viewing. But Once I start doing it, I'm like, that's right. I love this. I got your back. Like, I love being helpful. I love using my gifts. And sometimes we need a little advice, straight like that. All right, so now we're going to read for the Cancers. Cancers. I think this is the Game of Thrones deck. I think this lady was a Cancer too. Honestly, even though this is the Queen of Coins, which equates to the Queen of Pentacles, which is all about the earth element. But right now, this lady here, it just feel like your energy right now. This lady of the Cancers. What is that? Hey, this is different than I'm used to for Cancers. It feels like you are in a situation that is requiring you to move very strategically. I don't even know what word to use besides strategic. Meticulous. I don't know why I'm thinking of like the Spy Kids being undercover or something. What is that? What a quirky vibe. It's like it's not necessarily that you have anything to hide. It's more so that you are testing the waters, trying to figure out who you can trust. There may be a veil that has been removed from your eyes. You may feel that you have literally broken out of the matrix for many, many different reasons, and probably varying reasons for all of you Cancers. But all of you are experiencing the same sense of, I am awake now. And what do I want to do with it? Now that I have the power, what do I want to do with it? Where do I want to direct it? Who deserves really to experience it with me? Now that I have this understanding, am I supposed to tell the whole world about it? Or is it okay for me to be more? You see how you're having to, it feels like you know something that could change the world. Maybe all the Cancers have tapped into something that if they were to express it, it would shift the collective in a beautiful and very expeditious way, it feels like. But that you're wondering how much is okay to say. Or maybe for some of you, it's straight up fear, for real, for real. Maybe it is fear for some of you. What if I tell what I know, or if I show what I can do, what if people come after me? Or what if it puts me in danger? No more being afraid. So what? We gotta start handling business. There are kids being kidnapped. We could be afraid all day as long as we go do something about it too. You feel what I'm saying, Cancer? This is not the time for fear, especially it feels like fear may be the only thing holding you back from changing the world with what you've learned and experienced and recorded. So I feel like you're just being more strategic. Obviously nobody wants to be thrown into the deep end of the pool before they learn how to swim. And awareness is just like a pool. So you want to ease them in. And I feel like you're learning to be more strategic about what you say and to who you say it. Not only for their benefit, but also to make sure that your peace is protected as well. To not be feeling like you have to have conversations with people who only want to disagree or argue with you, even though the truth is the truth. That's the reading right there, Cancer. Hello. Let me turn this light back on. That's the reading right there. I do personal readings as well. Reach out to me and we'll make it happen if you really want one. You got to be patient because I got a lot of students that I teach telekinesis and airbending to. I have a whole bunch of work that I have to do outside of that and social media. So sometimes you got to wait a couple days for that reading, but it will always be worth it to live your beautiful life in between readings. You feel me? But I do them private readings. Okay. It is Leo season, and we are about to read for the Leos. What are the Leos going through in Leo season? This is the Stranger Things deck, where a lot of Leos were like stuck in this hopeless romantic energy for a long time. And for a lot of the Leos, it's probably because their first love is so hard to get over, even if it's been a long time. But now at this point, the more you save space for somebody who don't want nothing to do with you, the more you are torturing yourself and robbing yourself of the opportunity of meeting someone who is an even better fit. Someone you've never met before. So all that hopeless romantic, what if I never meet somebody like them? Or what if that was the best love I'll ever experience? Even if you weren't brave enough to say it out loud, I feel like you were thinking about it and worried about it in your head, even if you were trying to pretend that you were all good. That hopeless romantic energy has been replaced with a very genuine vibe of, I don't give a fuck about anything that is running away from me. There is beautiful energy that is drawn to my fire. So why am I basing the worth, my self-worth, why am I basing the value of my fire on the people who don't even want it? That is no way to live. And honestly, Leo, with your beautiful, first of all, it feels like you're more powerful than ever. Literally more physically powerful, more mentally aware, and more emotionally balanced than ever. And because of that, there are some habits that you have had your whole life, like being a hopeless romantic or addiction or anger. These last little things that you're like, not sex addiction, these last little things that you're like knocking out. But also too, it might be really intense because it's so, now that you're not dealing with a bunch of crap, or now it's really easy to see the small list of very real bad habits you have. But it's making it easier to address it and do something about it too. But in you doing that, I feel like you're falling in love with yourself again. Now you're realizing, why am I so worried about a partner anyway, when I'm not even all the way in love with my reflection? Let me get my hair right. Let me get my skin popping. Let me get my teeth glowing. Let me look in my reflection in the mirror and fall in love with that genuinely, not for fake, first. And a lot of you, just from doing that, but before you even realize it, a partner shows up, a twin flame for a lot of y'all, because a lot of y'all been manifesting it for a huge chunk of your life, which is also why, too, I think a lot of you have been so single and doing so much work inside, especially, and for the world, especially. Because you're shaping yourself up to be the kind of partner that you're also looking to attract. Oh my God. So you're like, you know what? I know I'm worthy of love. That's not the problem. The problem is that I keep treating myself as if I am only worthy of the love I've already experienced. Let it go. Let me focus on loving myself in the kind of light I'm putting out, so that I can increase the quality of who I'm attracting, rather than feel like I need to increase desperately whatever I can in order to find somebody today. Straight like that. Your power is improving exponentially. And some of you Leos, a lot of you Leos, are tapping into something ancestral, maybe even past life experiences that maybe you're not trying to put too much stock into because, you know, you want to be practical, but also too, maybe it's becoming harder and harder to deny certain things that you once thought were just conspiracy, especially the more in tune with your own power you are becoming. The veil is lifted in all these readings, it feels like, which is beautiful. Three of Cups? I can't remember if Three of Scoops is Three of Cups or Three of Pentacles. Three of Cups would be a celebration, and Three of Pentacles would be doing divine work, important work, meeting your squad, your peoples, in order to get very important work done for the world. Maybe it's supposed to represent both right now. The constant celebratory like feeling of inner peace that comes with doing your real life work and finding the people that you want to do it with. Not just romantic, but your real squad, which is the ultimate life hack. Because Leo, I'm telling you, whoever your real partner is going to be much more like your best friends in life than that person you like to watch on Pornhub. For real, I'm saying. Your real partner is going to be much more like the people in your life that are strictly platonic, but you know are never going away. It'll be much more like that than like your celebrity crush. You feel me? Do you get what I'm saying? Yes, you do. I know it. All right, Leos. Love y'all. That's the reading right there. Now we're going to move on to the Virgos. Where the Virgos at? Your season is coming, Virgos. Oh, Virgos. Tell me about the Virgos for Leo season. King of Pentacles and the World. A lot of Virgos have maybe been extremely dedicated to their love interest. It feels like a lot of Virgos are in relationships, very serious relationships. A lot of Virgos. Not all, maybe, but a lot. So first, for the single Virgos, it just don't feel like they care that much about a relationship. A lot of your focus right now seems to be on the world. I'm sorry, it's so bright. I know these cards. It's because my lights are great. Hold up. There we go. A little something. Where is the... I got to figure out how to... Why are these lights so bright? Virgo, hold on. I just want to make sure you can see the cards I'm holding. All right, so one of these got to go off. Hello. Because we're going to see these cards. Yeah, there we go. Well, I will take that for now. The World is coming out. And I feel that that is a representation, Virgo, of the fact that those, especially the single Virgos who are not in relationships, a lot of you guys are like very focused on cleaning up the planet. It makes me wonder now if that guy Nature Jab, the guy who's making plastic out of gasoline, if he is a Virgo, because that's whose face I'm seeing right now to represent y'all energy. And that's where a lot of y'all minds are at. I bet a lot of the Virgos are very, very... We're all upset about what's happening in Gaza, right? But most of us are upset about what's happening in Gaza. But there are many, many Virgos that are, it feels personal, like they personally want to take action about it. They want their lives to mean something, especially Virgos. There's a superpower of practicality that seems like is more heightened than ever, especially as you're moving into Virgo season. Maybe like some of you are, maybe it feels like you have a gift for thinking right now, or maybe you've always felt that way, but right now I'm seeing like numbers and formulas, and where to me it looks like mush, it feels like the Virgo has a gift for sitting there and just being able to process it no matter how fast it looks like it's moving. That is deep. And maybe it's always been that way for you, but now you're like tapping into this and it's becoming literally magical. This same familiar process. And you're wanting to contribute these skills and gifts of yours to something that matters. There's a theme going on for the signs. There's a theme kind of going. Yeah, so I feel the Virgos going very, very hard at like their personal projects, even though a lot of those personal projects seem to be directly correlating to cleaning up the planet, hands-on. Even if it's at a risk or at some of them even putting themselves in danger. But I don't want you to be afraid. I don't think they would be. I don't think sometimes you gotta be a little dangerous to get real change to happen, especially with people who are going to great evil lengths to stop that same progress. Hello. So Virgos. So that's for the Virgos that are single. I do feel that the Virgos in a relationship are also in that same energy space, but it seems that what is mostly the focus is how committed you are to your partner. And it seems like you've been wondering why. I don't think it means that a lot of you are questioning your relationship, but for many of you, it's not because you're going to break up or nothing like that. Y'all it's to keep it real. You got to be able to be real about how you're feeling. And if it's gotten stale or it feels like it's, dragging or something like that, you're going to notice it and you should voice it with your partner. Just talk about it. Like, this is kind of how I'm feeling. I don't want to break up at all, but I also want to really talk about these feelings because I'm not the same person I was when we met. I'm not the same, and neither are you. So maybe we should really talk about it. There's that part of it. Some of you do want to break up, though, or have been... A lot of you Virgos grew up trying to live up to very unfair, very irrational family expectations of be perfect and wanting to live up to that to make your parents or your family proud. And finally breaking out of that, feeling like you don't have to wear a mask in order to be accepted by your family. Y'all finally broke out of that after struggling with it for as long as I've been reading, for a long while. Now it seems though that all of that energy has kind of been projected onto a love interest or a partner, where it's like, now I want the world to see me as a good person. So I want to be the best girlfriend or boyfriend I can be to you, even though my heart is telling me I don't even know if I am into it like that. And there's things about my own life and sexuality and stuff like that that I haven't even explored. There's dates I haven't gone on, stuff I haven't seen, and it feels like me and you are headed toward forever. And while it sounds good on paper, I do want to make sure that that's even what I want. Very intense conversations coming up with, especially like married Virgos, about what marriage even is. Snap. That's the reading for the Virgos right there. I love y'all. Let's roll on to the Libras. Libra. Damn. Libra. Some of you Libras are discovering an ability, a literal superpower, it feels to me. But the unfortunate part is that it seems to have been triggered by a very mean lady. Maybe don't take lady so literal, but what is that energy? I'm sensing that some Libras have been in a very bad place with their mom for a long time. And that the it's finally starting to catch up or something like that. Or maybe somebody's been scared to say what they've always wanted to say to their mom, but now that they're finally full grown, they can say it. And so even though it's intense, they are actually whoa, bro, I'm getting a lot of vibes, yo. Like, I'm seeing somebody that has something to tell their mom, and now that they're big and full grown, they can finally say it because they don't have to worry about being treated badly just for thinking differently than their parents expect them to think. Feel me, straight like that. And while it seems like the Libra is a little worried that maybe they're just being mean, or that maybe because now that they feel so free, that maybe they're just doing too much by wanting to tell their parents about themselves. But no, my friend, what you're actually doing is returning to your parent this burden that they put on you since you were a kid. That's what it feels like to me. And by you giving back all that weight, you are finally free enough in your own mind and emotions to notice a very natural power, or a very natural physical ability or gift that you only didn't notice because you've been running toward certain people, away from certain people. But once all the running stops, and you realize that you are allowed to live your life, feel how you feel, say what you say, and do what you know is right, a huge weight is let go. A huge weight. It's like Libra, like when you go out to party with your best friends, or when you're at like a family reunion, or when you're hanging out with your little nieces or nephews or kids or something like that, then your scales are so balanced. But for a long time, I feel like, especially if you have been given your heart or gave your heart to someone who completely stepped on it, you might just be recovering, because Libras them partnership challenges just hurt a little more for a Libra, because for a lot of Libras, if ever we had a say in how our life was going to go and what we were going to experience before we were born, then a Libra's main reason for coming to Earth be their partner. For real, for real. So it'd be a little more intense, especially if you gave your heart to somebody that didn't deserve it and disrespected it. Like somebody that you was like, you know what, honestly, I know I could do better than you, but I like you, so I'm going to give you my heart, only for them to treat you like shit still, even though they was lucky to even have it. You might just now be getting over that. And it just feels like your scales have been tipped imbalanced for a long time. That there were little bursts of balance in the forms of going to a fun party with friends, or just hanging out with friends, or being with your family, or being around the kids and stuff. There were moments of balance, but that once those moments end, it always leans back to all this weight you've been carrying. Half of it seems like from a real fucked up ex, a real messed up ex that was very abusive, and or a parental figure that put the same kind of weight on you. For some of you, it may be the ex's parent or something. Hey, this, none of that weight is even yours, but you've been letting it affect the balance of your scales. As soon as you let it go, bro, drop the weight that is not even yours by telling these people about themselves. Or you don't even have to make it so much of an attack, by letting them know how you feel, how they made you feel, and your concerns. It doesn't mean every single thing you have to say will be right or correct, or that they'll agree with it, but somebody that loves you wants to hear it. And somebody that don't want to hear it, that's even more reason to drop their weight. Do you feel what I'm saying, Libra? Straight like that. That's the reading right there, Libra. I love you so much. Hello. Who we got next? Libra. Oh, Scorpio. Scorpios. What's up with the Scorpios for Leo season? Tell me about the Scorpios for Leo season. A lot of Scorpios might be dealing with an earth sign romantically, or a Taurus specifically, maybe. Some beautiful connections going on between Scorpio and Taurus right now during Leo season. It just feels like a very beautiful bond. Oh, and now that makes me think of the beach. Fixed water finds fixed earth. The beach making it to the shore. Maybe, and it's at Leo season. Maybe there's something to that, because right now I can feel it, at least intuitively, that there's some very powerful connections going on between fixed water Scorpio and fixed earth Taurus. But Scorpio and the earth signs in general, some good vibes. Okay, but tell me about Scorpio. What is that? I don't know. I'm getting this feeling that a lot of the Scorpios, they've been walking around like, hey, because I feels like you guys are making more money than you've ever made. Or you found at least a lane in terms of career that is very comfortable. Even if it hasn't started like dishing out much money yet, you can tell that this is your lane. And it's giving you like this charge, which is beautiful, and it is real. It also, there is this feeling though that if you just were to be still, you would start crying. Like if you just stopped, if somebody was just like, hey, you're moving kind of fast. Can you just be here with me for a minute? I just am trying to see what's up with you. That you would, there's something, what is that? Maybe too, if you got real heartbroken very recently, that you responded to it by like going very hard at your work, which has been very good for your work, but it feels like you have been waiting. There are some tears that like demand to be felt right now. Crying is like taking your soul to the laundromat, and there's something that hurt you that it feels like you're trying to pretend it didn't, but it's not doing nothing for your aura. It's not. People can see right through it. It feels almost like you're worried about dealing with the dark waters of those feelings, but it's water. Who knows better how to navigate that than you? It might hurt, but then you're gonna swim straight like that. But if you're always running from it, it's always gonna feel like it's about to get you. And like you feel me? Learning to navigate your own emotional waters, Scorpio. Which to me, it feels like it starts by just opening up. Maybe too, you're worried that you can't trust anybody right now after this person who you really, really trusted, kind of more than anybody, broke your trust. But there are people that have loved you and have had your back before that person, and that will continue to after. I don't blame you for being heartbroken, because you didn't break your own heart. But at some point, your healing is only your responsibility. So at some point, if your heart is still broken, it's because you haven't done anything to try to heal it. And pretending that it's not broken is not healing it. I don't blame you for not wanting to put all your focus on it. But in terms of your healing, eventually you're going to acknowledge how it really made you feel, and you're going to stop running from them feelings. You might as well do it now. Rip that Band-Aid off. You feel me? There are beautiful, beautiful things in your life right now that feel like they're flourishing constantly, and you know it. But with all this beautiful rainbowy goodness, it's like it doesn't matter that much, because there's this thing that you know is what you're mostly thinking about, which is this person that it didn't end up working out with, or that hurt you real bad. Yeah, I would just keep it real with yourself. Open up to your friends. Open up to your friends, my friend. Let them remind you what real love, what real water feels like. That's my advice. Scorpios, hold up, because I ain't even pulling no cards. Success and accolades. Yeah, you're in a beautiful energy of success. You're doing great. You will glow exponentially brighter if you keep it real about these tears, my friend. Just keep it real with somebody about the fact that you just want to cry, and then let yourself cry. Hello. You may honestly too, part of you might really want to reach out to that person, and maybe that's what you're resisting. If you know that they will answer, then just do it. It's time for a talk, and it's always better to have closure. You don't got nothing to prove. You don't got to prove to this person that you don't still care or nothing like that. Who cares? Especially if it's not true. Who cares? You don't got nothing to prove. Keep it real. It's for your heart. Yep. Scorpios, I love y'all so much. Okay, let's read for the Capricorns. Capricorn. What's up, Capricorns? Four of Spears, the twin flame card. That's why it looks like a little wedding. The twin flame card, Four of Spears for Capricorn. For real? You know, an ignorant person would think that a Capricorn don't care about romance. And they probably want people to feel that way, that they're so nonchalant, unfazed, unbothered, and unaffected by feelings, unless they want to be affected by those feelings. But to me, it's feeling more and more the more I do this reading for them, like just a brave face, like a face they put on in order to protect themselves from heartbreak that they've once experienced by opening up. Ooh, hello. I feel a bunch of single Capricorns that are ready to date, but that are maybe dealing with like getting their pride out of the way so that they can really do it. Maybe they feel like it's too predictable or too annoying or something like that, or too basic to like get on a dating app or something like that, or to go to the club. But this, how you expecting to meet somebody if from in your house? I mean, straight like that. And what do you have to prove? You don't got nothing to... No wonder y'all next to Scorpio, because it's that same energy of you don't got nothing to prove, my friend. You are proof with your beautiful, talented, fine self. Silly, humorous. What is this? Who are you still trying to convince that you don't have no feelings? Your ex from 4th grade? Get over it, Capricorn. It's time for some good loving. Ain't you ready? We grown now. People want to, you feel me? It's time to do some dating and explore some passion. I know you know Earth real well. You know how to get that bag. You know how to build a skill. But what's up with your heart? What's up with your passion? You barely even explored that territory, because you've just been going with the flow, with the wind of whatever hits you in the head romantically, and just feeling like that's, you feel me? Have you ever tried to really explore? Even just spent a few days of human time exploring your romantic interests, exploring love, getting to know it, researching a little bit through experience. I feel weddings forming quickly, people getting married fast, getting into relationships fast. A lot of Capricorns getting into, even though they're dating a bunch of different signs, obviously, but I feel a bunch of Capricorns getting into very serious relationships toward the end of Leo season and the start of Virgo season. Mostly because they step out of their own comfort zone for whatever reason. Some beautiful partnerships. Some YouTube couples. Many, if you, some very interesting world-shifting partnerships, and I feel like there's a lot of Capricorns involved in a lot of them. Hey, I'm just a messenger, man. Okay. 4 of Spears. 4 of Wands. For the Capricorns. That's y'all reading right there. I love y'all, yo. Enjoy, enjoy. Enjoy your summer. Who we got next? Aquarius. Aquarius. Ooh. Aquarius, now that you are in your own space, that you only have to worry about taking care of yourself and not dealing with everybody else's wants and needs and feelings and obligations. Which is not to say that you don't like that. You love to show up for especially your family and the people that really have your back. You love to show up for people who have your back. But you show up so hard that sometimes it's exhausting. First of all, it don't gotta be like that. You can go hard for your family without it draining you. You feel me? If you are overextending yourself to the point where you feel drained, I don't know if you can blame your loved ones for that because they didn't ask you to kill yourself to have their back. You feel me? That being said, it feels like you're really in your own space now. Maybe you straight up moved, or maybe whoever was in your house moved out. And you're finally getting to do your own thing, which maybe is a little intense, especially because you're a social butterfly, but also it's reminding you that, one, you are very, very good in your own space. Also, sometimes you flourish when you are alone, especially creatively. And the kind of stuff you're able to accomplish when you're not always worried about who's right up under your nose. You feel me? Aquarius. I didn't even pull no cards yet. Yeah, so now that you're in your own space, some opportunities have opened up, it feels like. Some of you Aquariuses, oh snap, there's a lot of energy of like getting married in the air. Because I see some of you Aquariuses maybe are already dealing with somebody and just having more space to yourselves. I don't think this person lives in the house with you because it really feels like you're doing your own thing. The Aquariuses that I'm reading for mostly right now are doing your own thing. That even if you're in a relationship, it doesn't feel like that person is like living with you yet. But because of maybe people you were living with that are no longer there, you and that person get to explore more of your relationship, and it might lead very quickly to marriage if you guys have already been dating for a very long time and kind of just waiting for the space. Also, Aquarius, that person you've been dealing with, if you both really want to be together but haven't been able to all the way be together because of other people or past relationships or some kind of drama like that, I feel that being ending with a snap almost. With the snap, somebody is ready to stop doing that, to stop putting their heart in 2 different places and to just lock in. And now they have the space really to do so without worrying about who can hear them. Hey, take it how it resonates. And also, too, some of you Aquariuses, even though you're doing your own thing, you're by yourself and you get a chance to explore your independence. Some of you, too, it feels like you're thinking very heavily about somebody you already know. Aquariuses, with all the fixed signs, but especially Aquarius, that fixed air, once they have loved you once, even if they stop really liking you and don't really want to talk to you that much, or feel overwhelmed by you and so don't talk to you because they don't be knowing how to control their own feelings, sometimes when they're very deep in love, they fixed signs. Fixed means it's locked on. It's stationary. Once they feel for you, it don't really go away, bro. Your Aquarius will love you forever, even if y'all aren't going to be friends for life. They will never forget you, and they will never stop having intense feeling for you because they are already locked on. Don't get me wrong, though. If you disrespected them, then they will be gone and you'll never hear from them again, but they'll never forget you or stop having those feelings, or they'll always be able to easily tap into the feelings that y'all had when y'all were at y'all best, you know? So I feel that some Aquariuses too maybe have been, even in the midst of this beautiful new independence and success, are finding themselves thinking very heavily about somebody that they used to know, used to love, and really miss. And I think that you would be surprised, Aquarius, to find out that if you reach out to this person and say what you're thinking, that they've been waiting for you too. I love this. I love my jobs. Yeah, my friend, look at these. I gotta find a way to show you this, because you gotta see this. Let me just turn both of these off real quick. Look at this. This is the 10 of Swords, which is all about like self-harm, sabotage, fucking yourself up for no reason because of your own feelings, bro. It don't even have to be like this. Nobody's trying to make you. You don't got to cut yourself. You don't have to avoid what you love to the point that it hurts just because you feel like you got something to prove to somebody. Again, so these are all flowers, purple flowers, which to me feel like beautiful, happy, powerful, passionate, romantic memories with somebody that you love a lot. But because you are overthinking it or worried or projecting your fears onto it and your anxiety onto that love, you're treating these beautiful memories as if they are swords, as if they're cutting you up, as if they make you weak, or as if loving this person before makes you something bad now, when really you're just overthinking all of it, because all of these are flowers. It's love, bro. A simple shift in perspective, or maybe to embrace your feelings rather than feel like you have to fight to get over them, when you know with your fixed air self that that's highly unlikely, that your feelings will go away. It's not about getting rid of them, it's about understanding them and moving accordingly. Love you, Aquarius, so much. We got one more reading to do, and that's for the Pisces. What's up, Pisces? Pisces, yeah. Okay, Pisces. Let's see. Pisces. Tell me about the Pisces. What's up with the Pisces in Leo season? Queen of Cups, which is literally for the water signs. Pisces, this is looking like your energy. Let me just turn the lights off real quick just so you can see it. She is smiling too. She's comfortable. She might have invented this chair or something like that. I feel like the Pisces are in a very, very creative and productive space. If you've been waiting to write a book, Pisces, or to create some kind of artistic project, a book or a story or something like that, are very artistic, this is the time to do it. It's no more waiting. You done spent years putting the story together in your own head and taking notes and all that. You already know what to do. You already know how the story goes. The only reason you have not yet been so super revolutionarily, some of y'all, successful at this project is because you have not started it at all. Some of you have had the blueprint since high school and just have been dreaming about it, not realizing that what makes it come true is you doing something, some kind of work. Oh, Pisces, I feel like the soil is fertile in your life right now for you to create something that will make a lot of money. So even though I feel that it will it's a very passionate project, something you love to do, something you love to create, there also seems to be a practicality of its application, something that it makes people want to buy it in abundance. I see you making great money end of Leo, start of Virgo season. As long as you are putting even a little bit of work into your projects that you know you've been sitting on for a long time. It's something very creative too. Also too, some of you, wow, that's a twist. Some of you Pisces too, maybe are like theater kids at heart, something like that. Like you're a theater kid at heart. Like you've always wanted to sing and dance or perform, or maybe even to just be much more active in terms of making content on social media. And you're finally starting to just do it. You realize that, why am I waiting to feel safe to post videos of myself and what I love to do? Who's validation am I waiting for? No, I'm gonna post it, and then whoever sees it, then I can worry about who likes it. But not before I even put that work in. It seems like maybe y'all been doing it since Leo season started, and the benefits are finally rolling in come Virgo season, especially if it was a product you created. I feel a boom in the market come mutable Earth season. Beautiful energy. Pisces used to be so much about like abusive relationships and being with people that would abuse them, and taking the beating just so that they can prove to themselves that they really love. But there was never their love that was the problem. It's the fact that they kept trying to give it to people who didn't appreciate it and wanted to beat them every time it wasn't what they wanted. But I don't even sense none of that right now. For real, it feels like a lot of Pisces are in relationships. Maybe kind of new relationships, but very, very promising and rich with substance. Wow, what a beautiful shift. And yo, if the Pisces can shift this much, it's a sign. They are the end of the story. They're letting us know what the next story is about to be like. It's a story of success and prosperity, even though we might have to fight some battles to get there. Hey, yo, I love you, Pisces. That was all 12 zodiac signs. Now, this was kind of like very chill. But the next time we do this, we're going to really get into it, because now that we're doing these readings and we really connecting with each other through the readings that I'm doing on my page, I bet the stories will get way more elaborate and detailed as well. Make great choices, because the cards are always changing. Make fulfilling choices, because the cards, your future, are always changing based on what you do right now. You feel me? I love y'all so much. Let me know what y'all think. If you want to book private readings, hit me up on TikTok or Instagram. If you want to book me to learn how to use your powers, telekinesis, airbending, all that same thing, send me a message on TikTok or Instagram and we'll get it popping. I also wrote a book, How to Use Your Aura. It's available on Amazon. Go check that out. It's going to teach you how to use your aura. This is it. This is the beginning of my consistent YouTube days. I love y'all.